Right, so shall we just get started then?
Yeah, I think we're past 11 now, so that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Right, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the September Cairngorms National Park Authority Planning Committee meeting. For those members of the public joining us today, I'm Chris Beattie, the convener of the CNPA Planning Committee. Unfortunately, the live stream isn't working today, but we will make a recording of the meeting available on the at the Cairngorms YouTube channel. So today I'd also like to welcome David Berry, our new Head of Planning and Chief Planning Officer. Some of you will remember David from his previous employment in the Park Authority. So over the next few committee meetings, David will be taking over Gavin's role with us. I'd also like to mention that this is Xander's last ever meeting with the CNPA board, and I'd like to thank him for his contributions over the years and wish him well for the future. So before we go any further, I'm going to ask the clerk to the board to run a roll call.
Chris Beattie.
Good morning, present.
Shiva Blackett.
Yes, good morning, I'm here.
Sandy Bremner.
Good morning.
Peter Cosgrove.
Good morning.
Paul Gibb.
Here, good morning.
Hannah Grist.
Good morning.
Russell Jones.
Good morning.
Bill Lobin.
Yeah.
Eleanor McIntosh.
Here.
Sandra McDade.
Good morning, present.
Fiona McLean.
Morning.
Steve McElwright.
I'm here.
Duncan Miller.
Morning.
Anne Ross.
Good morning.
And Derek Ross.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Apologies from Jackie Pearton and Kenny Deans.
Okay. Right, so before we go, members, to help move the business forward effectively, please keep your questions succinct and to the point, focus firmly on clarification of technical or planning issues, and once we have moved into the discussion phase of an application, it would be helpful if members would indicate an appropriate point if you're minded to put forward any proposal regarding the officer's recommendation. Because we're online today, please raise your virtual hand so if you want to speak, and make sure your microphones are muted unless you're speaking, to reduce feedback. Should any member wish to pull together an amendment to a motion on any of the items today, a breakout room is available and the details are in your board memo. Now, today our legal advisor is not joining us, but if there is any need for advice, you will be joined by Gavin Miles, who's Director of Planning and Place, and David Berry. Okay, so we'll move on to declarations of interest. Do any members wish to declare an interest on any of the items on the agenda today? And if you do, can you tell me what the item number is, the nature of the declaration, and whether you still want to take part in the meeting or leave? Does anyone have anything to say? Okay. I'm not seeing any hands. Right. Okay, so we'll move on. Item 4. Minutes of the previous meeting from 9th of August and matters arising not covered elsewhere. Can I ask the committee if they are content with the accuracy of the minutes and from the meeting on the 9th of August?
Okay.
Are we all happy? Yeah. It's difficult to see. I can see Sandy nodding, but I can't see anyone else's reaction. Okay, so no one said anything to the contrary, so we'll move on. I'm now going to move a motion to take the minutes from our confidential session on the 9th of August at the end of the public session. Is everyone content with that? Okay, yeah, I'm seeing some thumbs up, that's great. Okay, so moving on to item number 5, and this is application number 2024/0205/PAC. It's the Rothes 3 Wind Farm, notification of a variation application under Section 36 of the Electricity Act. This is going to be introduced by Emma Bryce, a plan manager, and the recommendation is that the members of the committee confirm that the Cairngorms National Park Authority does not object to the application for the proposed variation to the Rothes 3 Wind Farm. Okay, with no speakers today. So, Emma, would you like to run through your presentation?
Thank you, convener. Good morning, everyone. Yes, this is the application as a notification of a variation to a planning application that was granted consent The site is the consented Rothes 3 wind farm, which is located approximately 4 kilometres west of the village of Rothes. The operational Rothes 1 and 2 wind farms lie to the northwest of the site. The Rothes 3 wind farm, it was granted consent by Energy Consents Unit back in October 2022, and it consists of 28 turbines, 8 which extend to a tip height of 200 metres and 17 to a height of 225 metres. 3 of the consented turbines extend to 149.9. This application is a notification for a proposed variation to that consented scheme, and it's to extend the 3 smaller wind turbines and extend those to a maximum tip height of 200 in line with the 8 others that are already on site. So planning policy seeks to ensure that wind farm proposals that potentially affect a national park do not significantly harm those qualities for which the area has been designated. This image, which was within your papers, shows the zone of theoretical visibility, with the green areas showing the visibility of the consented Rothes 3 scheme, and the smaller purple areas, which are particularly visible on this slide, but as I say, this image is in your papers, and that the purple areas show the additional increase, the additional areas of visibility with the increase in the height of the 3 turbines. If you look at that, there are very, very small areas, mainly to the west of the site. We've included some wireline images for you as well. This is a view from the northern end of the Cromdale Hills, showing the existing consented scheme. And this is showing the revised view with the 3 turbines at an increased height. As you can see, I'll flip back. There is not particularly great difference there. Another view from the Glenlivet bike trails. This is the consented Rothes 3 scheme, and then again with the 3 increased height of the turbines. And then another one from the River Anne to the east, again the consented development, and then the revised. So members are aware of the casework agreement that we have with Nature Scott, who lead on providing landscape advice in relation to effects of developments on the special landscape qualities and landscape character of the national park caused by any developments out with the national park. In this instance, Nature Scott is satisfied that the proposed variation will not impact on natural heritage interests of national interest. Approved mitigation measures which are part of the consented scheme are considered to remain appropriate. The increase in tip height of the 3 turbines, which will match 8 other consented turbines within the site, will not introduce significant impacts, and therefore it's in compliance with the National Planning Framework and National Park Partnership Plan policies in relation to wind farms. It's therefore recommended that no objections are raised to this proposed variation to the consented Rothes 3 wind farm. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Emma. Now, do any members have any questions of clarity for Emma? I'm not seeing any hands. Oh, hold on, Councillor Ross. Yeah, Anne, would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you. I've just got one question, please, regarding the size of the wind turbines, so I can visualise it in my head. How does the size compare with Big Ben? Because I can sort of picture Big Ben. How would they be in proportion to Big Ben?
I'm sorry, Councillor Ross, I'm not sure. I mean, we could Google it for you, but I'm not sure.
Okay, all right, okay.
What the comparison would be.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anne. Has anyone else got a question? Not seeing any hands. Right, okay, so we'll move now into the discussion phase. Do any members wish to raise anything? Not seeing any hands. Oh, Gavin.
Chris, yeah, I just wanted to point out that John has joined us just now, but obviously hasn't heard the presentation on the application, so at this point couldn't take part in the discussion.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Gavin. Eleanor.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. It's just to say that this is already consented. It's a minor adjustment to what has been consented. It brings the 3 in line with the rest. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it is what it is, and I don't see any reason to object to the proposal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eleanor. Does anyone else have a comment? No. Okay then. So are committee members content to take forward the officer's recommendation and no objection to the proposed variation?
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. That's fine. That's great. Thank you very much then, everyone. Well, that was that. So we'll move on to item 6, any other business. And Gavin, is there anything, or does anyone have anything to raise?
I don't have any other business for this part of the meeting, Chris. No.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not seeing any hands. So that's the end of the public part of the Planning Committee meeting. We'll now move to consider the minute of confidential session 9th of August in a closed session. But for any members of the public, the date of our next meeting will be on the 8th of November 2024. Can we stop the recording there, please?